Let's be real. Nobody wants to get a speeding ticket. They're expensive, they raise your insurance rates, and they waste your time. But here's what most people don't understand. Getting pulled over doesn't automatically mean you're getting a ticket. There's a window of opportunity where you can influence the outcome. I'm going to share exactly what lawyers know about this process. I need to be clear up front. I'm not talking about lying or bribing. I'm talking about understanding how the system works and using that knowledge to your advantage within the bounds of the law. The first thing you need to understand is that police officers have discretion. They don't have to give you a ticket just because you were speeding. They can give you a warning. And whether they choose to write that ticket often comes down to the interaction they have with you in those few minutes. Officers are human beings. They respond to how you treat them. The moment you see those lights in your rearview mirror, what you do in the next 30 seconds is critical. Pull over immediately. Don't keep driving while you're looking for the perfect spot. Signal, slow down, and pull over to the right as soon as it's safe. If possible, pull over where there's a wide shoulder so the officer can stand safely. Officers are acutely aware of the danger of standing on the side of the road with traffic flying by. Once you've stopped, turn your car off. Not just park, actually turn off the engine. Roll down your window all the way. If it's nighttime, turn on your interior dome light. Put both hands on the steering wheel at 10 and 2, visible the entire time they're approaching. Why all of this? Because you're eliminating threat perception. Officers approach every traffic stop with caution because they don't know who's in that car. By turning off the car, lighting the interior, and showing your hands, you're making them feel safer, and when people feel safe, they're more reasonable. Now the officer walks up. This is where most people blow it. They immediately start making excuses or arguing. Don't do that. Be polite, be calm, and keep your answers short. When the officer asks if you know why they pulled you over, don't admit to speeding, but don't play dumb either. A lot of people think they should say, "No, officer, I have no idea." But that can come across as dishonest. Instead, say something like, "I'm not entirely sure," or "I may have been going a bit fast back there." Notice you're not saying, "I was going 70 in a 55. You're acknowledging the situation without giving them ammunition. Here's something lawyers know. Anything you say can be used against you, but it has to be something specific. Saying, "I was going 80 gives the officer evidence. Saying, "I may have been going a bit fast" is vague and doesn't help prove the specific violation. The officer will ask for your license and registration. Tell them where these items are before you reach for them. Say, "My license is in my wallet in my back pocket." Then wait for acknowledgement before you move. Reach slowly. No sudden movements. Hand everything over together. While the officer is back at their car running your information, don't be on your phone. Don't fidget around. Just sit calmly with your hands visible. When the officer comes back, one of two things will happen. Either they're giving you a ticket or a warning, but sometimes that decision isn't made until this second interaction. How you behave now can still influence the outcome. If the officer starts explaining what you did wrong, listen. Don't interrupt, don't argue. Just listen and acknowledge. Say things like, "I understand," or "I appreciate you explaining that." Should you apologize? A genuine apology can help, but an over-the-top apology seems manipulative. If you genuinely feel bad, especially if it was in a school zone or residential area, a sincere, "I apologize, I should have been more careful," can go a long way. But mean it. Don't grovel. Here's what you should never do. Never argue about the speed. Never say, "Your radar must be wrong." The side of the road is not the place to debate. That's what court is for. Arguing will virtually guarantee you get a ticket. Never mention your connections or try to name drop. Don't say, "I know the chief of police." This comes across as seeking special treatment, and most officers hate that. Never ask, "Don't you have anything better to do?" That's incredibly disrespectful. And never, ever try to bribe an officer. That's a crime. It will get you arrested. Officers are more likely to give warnings to people who seem genuinely apologetic, who weren't egregiously speeding, who have a clean driving record, and who are respectful. You can't control your driving record in the moment, but you can control how you act. Sometimes you can briefly explain your situation if it's relevant and sympathetic. If you were speeding to the hospital because of an emergency, that's worth mentioning. If you're late for work, that's not a good excuse. Keep it short. Here's something else lawyers know. If an officer asks questions beyond the traffic stop like, "Where are you headed?" you're not legally required to answer. But refusing to answer basic questions can make you seem uncooperative and might turn a warning into a ticket. If you were coming from somewhere innocent, just answer. If the officer does give you a ticket, accept it gracefully. Don't argue. Just take the ticket, say thank you, and end the interaction professionally. The officer writes notes about the stop, and if you're belligerent, that goes in the notes. If you later fight the ticket in court, those notes can be used against you. But if you were polite, that can help you. You have options with a ticket. You can pay it, which is an admission of guilt. You can go to traffic school in many jurisdictions, or you can fight it in court. Officers often don't show up to traffic court, and if they don't show up, the ticket gets dismissed. Even if they do show up, if you were polite during the stop, they're more likely to be reasonable in court. Let's talk about myths. Some people think that if you don't sign the ticket, it's not valid. Wrong. Not signing usually means you're getting charged with an additional violation. Some think officers have to show you the radar reading. Not true in most places. Some think if you don't get read your Miranda rights, the ticket is invalid. Also not true. Miranda rights apply to custodial interrogation, not traffic stops. Everything I've told you is about handling the situation if you get pulled over. But the best way to avoid a ticket is to not speed in the first place. If you're going to speed, at least be smart. Don't speed in school zones or residential areas. Don't speed in construction zones. Don't speed when you're the only car on the road because you stick out. And don't speed right past a cop. Pay attention to speed limit signs, especially when they change. Officers love to sit where the limit drops because people don't slow down immediately. Use cruise control on highways. It keeps you consistent. And if you see a cop, don't slam on your brakes. That's a dead giveaway. Just ease off the gas. The type of car you drive matters. Flashy sports cars get pulled over more often than boring sedans. Your car's condition matters too. If your taillight is out or your registration is expired, those are reasons for an officer to pull you over. Keep your car legal. Let's circle back to the main point. Everything comes down to a few core principles. Be respectful. Be calm. Don't be threatening. Don't argue. Don't make excuses. Show that you understand the seriousness without making specific admissions. Make the officer's job easier and safer. Officers deal with difficult people all day long. They get yelled at, lied to, and disrespected constantly. If you're polite and reasonable, that stands out. It doesn't guarantee you'll get a warning, but it absolutely increases your chances. From a lawyer's perspective, everything you do during a traffic stop creates a record. If you end up fighting the ticket in court, your behavior matters. If you're cooperative, that helps your case. If you're argumentative, that hurts your case. If you do everything right and still get a ticket, don't take it personally. Sometimes the officer has no choice. Sometimes the violation was too serious. Sometimes it's just policy. You can do everything perfectly and still get a ticket. But by following this advice, you're giving yourself the best possible chance of driving away with just a warning. You're protecting yourself legally. And you're treating another human being with respect, which is the right thing to do regardless of the outcome. So to sum up, pull over quickly and safely, turn off your car, and turn on your interior light if it's dark. Keep your hands visible. Be polite and calm. Don't argue. Don't make specific admissions. Listen to the officer, show genuine remorse if appropriate, and accept the outcome professionally. These are the things that give you the best chance of getting a warning instead of a ticket. And remember, the best ticket is the one you never get in the first place.